CNA Practice Clinical Test. Question 1. What state law affects what nursing assistants can do? Option A, OBRA. Option B, Nurse Practice Act. Option C, HIPAA. Option D, OSHA. The correct answer is option B, Nurse Practice Act. The Nurse Practice Act is a state law that governs the scope of practice for nurses and nursing assistants. It outlines education requirements and defines what tasks CNAs are qualified to perform. OBRA, A, is a federal law that mandates training requirements for CNAs. Question 2. The Certified Nursing Assistant, CNA, understands that volunteering in the community, joining a senior citizen group, and exploring new hobbies can help make the elderly person's life more fulfilling. These activities can give the resident a Option A, sense of purpose. Option B, reason to complain. Option C, distraction from pain. Option D, way to avoid family. The correct answer is option A, sense of purpose. Meaningful activities and social engagement give elderly residents a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Encouraging residents to participate in activities they enjoy promotes mental health and quality of life. Question 3. Which kind of care helps restore a resident to the highest level of functioning possible? Option A, maintenance care. Option B, palliative care. Option C, rehabilitation. Option D, hospice care. The correct answer is option C, rehabilitation. Rehabilitation focuses on restoring a person's physical and mental abilities after an injury, illness, or disability, enabling them to regain their optimal level of functioning. It involves therapeutic interventions such as physical, occupational, and speech therapy.
Stressed about your Acuplacer exam? We can take Acuplacer exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. When using a transfer, gait, belt, where should the CNA place it? Option A, over the resident's clothing, around the waist. Option B, over bare skin. Option C, around the resident's chest. Option D, around the resident's hips. The correct answer is option A, over the resident's clothing, around the waist. A transfer belt should be placed over the resident's clothing, around the waist, and secured snugly but not too tight. The belt should be placed over the resident's clothing to protect the skin and positioned at the waist to provide proper support during transfers. Question 5. What is the term for a device that replaces a missing body part? Option A, orthotic. Option B, prosthesis. Option C, traction. Option D, splint. The correct answer is option B, prosthesis. A prosthesis is a device that replaces a missing body part, example, artificial limb. An orthotic, A, supports or corrects a body part. Traction, C, is a pulling force used to align bones. A splint, D, immobilizes an injured body part. Question 6. A resident is on strict dysphagia precautions. What item on the meal tray should the CNA question? Option A, mashed potatoes. Option B, pureed vegetables. Option C, regular orange juice. Option D, thickened water. The correct answer is option C, regular orange juice. A resident on strict dysphagia precautions requires thickened liquids to prevent aspiration. Regular orange juice is a thin liquid and should not be given. The tray should be evaluated for appropriate consistencies, mechanical soft, pureed, or thickened liquids as ordered. Question 7. What is the primary purpose of meeting an elderly resident's emotional needs? Option A, to make the CNA's job easier. Option B, to promote safety and security. Option C, to increase the resident's dependence. Option D, to reduce the need for physical care. The correct answer is option B, to promote safety and security. Meeting a resident's emotional needs, such as by regularly checking on them, keeping the call light within reach, and ensuring safety measures, promotes a sense of safety and security. This sense of security reduces anxiety and improves overall well-being. Question 8. When documenting a resident's refusal to eat breakfast, the CNA should write? Option A, resident was being difficult. Option B, resident refused breakfast, stated I'm not hungry. Option C, resident is probably depressed. Option D, resident didn't eat again. The correct answer is option B. Resident refused breakfast, stated I'm not hungry. Documentation must be factual, objective, and include direct quotes when possible. Avoid judgmental language and opinions. Include that the nurse was notified and the time of refusal. Options A, C, and D are subjective and unprofessional.
Are you looking for non-medical assistant exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access non-medical assistant exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get non-medical assistant exam answer key today.
Question 9. A CNA is asked to perform a task that is outside their scope of practice. What should the CNA do? Option A, perform the task to be helpful. Option B, refuse and explain that it is outside their scope of practice. Option C, perform the task and ask for forgiveness later. Option D, ask the resident to do it. The correct answer is option B. Refuse and explain that it is outside their scope of practice. CNAs must work within their scope of practice as defined by state law and facility policy. Refusing unsafe or prohibited tasks protects both the resident and the CNA. The CNA should explain the refusal professionally and report to the nurse. Question 10. What is the proper measurement for measuring bodily fluids? Option A, ounces. Option B, milliliters. Option C, cups. Option D, tablespoons. The correct answer is option B, milliliters. Bodily fluids are measured and documented in milliliters, ml. Intake and output are recorded in milliliters. To convert ounces to milliliters, multiply the number of ounces by 30. Example, 4 ounces times 30 equals 120 ml. Question 11. How often should incontinent residents be checked? Option A, once per shift. Option B, every 2-4 hours. Option C, only at night. Option D, when family visits. The correct answer is option B, every 2-4 hours. Incontinent residents should be checked every 2-4 hours to prevent skin breakdown and infection. Frequent checks allow for prompt changing of incontinence briefs and perineal care, reducing the risk of pressure ulcers and urinary tract infections. Question 12. A resident's family is upset about a change in the resident's condition. What should the CNA do? Option A, explain the medical details of the condition. Option B, refer the family to the nurse. Option C, tell the family not to worry. Option D, ignore the family. The correct answer is option B, refer the family to the nurse. CNAs are not trained to provide medical information to families. The nurse should be the one to discuss changes in condition with families. This respects the CNA's scope of practice and ensures accurate information is shared. Question 13. What is one way a nursing assistant can promote a resident's independence? Option A, complete tasks for the resident. Option B, allow a resident to do a task by himself, no matter how long it takes. Option C, tell the resident they are too slow. Option D, limit the resident's choices. The correct answer is option B, allow a resident to do a task by himself, no matter how long it takes. Promoting independence means encouraging residents to do as much for themselves as possible, even if it takes longer. Residents should be allowed to dress, feed, and perform other ADLS at their own pace with encouragement and patience. Question 14. What is a contracture? Option A, temporary muscle spasm. Option B, permanent and painful stiffening of a joint and muscle. Option C, type of fracture. Option D, skin breakdown. The correct answer is option B, permanent and painful stiffening of a joint and muscle. A contracture is the permanent and painful stiffening of a joint and muscle, often caused by lack of movement. It can be prevented by performing range of motion exercises, repositioning residents, and maintaining proper positioning. Question 15. How often should a resident be repositioned to prevent pressure ulcers? Option A, every hour. Option B, every 2 hours. Option C, every 4 hours. Option D, every shift. The correct answer is option B, every 2 hours. Residents who are bed-bound should be repositioned at least every 2 hours to prevent pressure ulcers. Positions include supine, right side lying, left side lying, and, if appropriate, prone. Use pillows to support position and prevent pressure on bony prominences. Question 16. A resident is lying in the supine position. In what position is the resident's bed? Option A, sitting up. Option B, flat. Option C, side lying. Option D, prone, on stomach. The correct answer is option B, flat. The supine position is lying flat on the back. The prone position is lying on the stomach. The lateral position is side lying. Fowler's position is sitting up at various angles. Question 17. A son has the legal right to act on his mother's behalf. The son is his mother's legal? Option A, guardian. Option B, representative. Option C, agent. Option D, a proxy. The correct answer is option B, representative. The son is the mother's legal representative, meaning he is authorized to act on her behalf. This relationship is established through legal authorization, such as power of attorney. All representatives must have legal documentation of their authority. Question 18. A resident with Alzheimer's disease shows violent behavior. The nursing assistant should: Option A, restrain the resident. Option B, remove triggers and redirect. Option C, ignore the behavior. Option D, punish the resident. The correct answer is option B, remove triggers and redirect. For residents with Alzheimer's disease who show violent behavior, the CNA should identify and remove triggers, example noise, pain, hunger, fatigue, and redirect the resident to a calm activity. Restraints should only be used as a last resort with a physician's order. Supervision and redirection ensure safety without harm.
Stressed about your non-medical assistant exam? We can take non-medical assistant exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. What is the most common cause of accidents in long-term care facilities? Option A, burns from hot water. Option B, cuts from knives. Option C, falls. Option D, poisoning. The correct answer is option C, falls. Falls are the leading cause of injury in the elderly due to weakness, medication side effects, and environmental hazards. To prevent falls, keep walkways clear, ensure call lights are within reach, use proper transfer techniques, and perform frequent rounding. Question 20. Which task is within the CNA scope of practice? Option A, administer insulin injections. Option B, measure and record vital signs. Option C, administer 4 medications. Option D, insert urinary catheters. The correct answer is option B, measure and record vital signs. CNAs are trained to measure and record vital signs, temperature, pulse, respirations, blood pressure, administering medications, A, C, inserting catheters, D, and performing sterile procedures are outside the CNA's scope of practice. Question 21. A resident grabs the CNA's arm and will not let go. What should the CNA do? Option A, push the resident away hard. Option B, report the incident to the nurse immediately. Option C, ignore the behavior. Option D, restrain the resident in a chair. The correct answer is option B, report the incident to the nurse immediately. Physical aggression is a safety risk. The CNA should protect themselves, try to stay calm, and report the behavior to the supervising nurse. Grabbing may indicate fear, pain, or agitation and requires assessment. Never push, retaliate, or apply restraints independently. Question 22. When should a CNA identify a resident before providing care? Option A, before helping with feeding. Option B, before assisting with ambulation. Option C, before providing any care. Option D, only if the resident asks. The correct answer is option C, before providing any care. The CNA must identify the resident before providing any care. Check the resident's identification band and ask the resident to state their name if able. Correct identification prevents errors and ensures the right resident receives the right care. Question 23. A resident's protected health information, FI, may be shared with? Option A. Anyone who asks. Option B. Only those who need the information for care or processing of records. Option C. The resident's roommate. Option D. Any family member. The correct answer is option B. Only those who need the information for care or processing of records. Protected health information, FI, may only be shared with those directly involved in the resident's care or who need the information for processing records. HIPAA protects the confidentiality of resident information. Family members may only receive information with the resident's consent. Question 24. Which of the following is an example of assault in a healthcare setting? Option A. Forgetting to raise the side rail. Option B. Threatening to restrain a resident if they do not stop yelling. Option C. Accidentally breaking a denture. Option D. Refusing to give a resident a cigarette. The correct answer is option B. Threatening to restrain a resident if they do not stop yelling. Assault is the threat of unlawful violence or harm, making someone fear being hit or harmed. Battery is the actual physical contact. A verbal threat to restrain a resident constitutes assault. The other options represent negligence, accident, or appropriate care decisions. Question 25. A resident's family member provided them with a pornographic magazine. The CNA should? Option A. Confiscate the magazine. Option B. Ask them to keep it in their room to avoid offending others. Option C. Report the family member to the nurse. Option D. Allow the resident to look at the magazine anywhere. The correct answer is option B. Ask them to keep it in their room to avoid offending others. Residents have the right to privacy and to express their sexuality. However, material of this nature should be kept in the resident's private room to respect the rights and comfort of other residents. The CNA should address this matter professionally.